Hey everybody, Black Ninja 797 here, and in today's video I'm very proud to present to you all my very first solo win in Fortnite Battle Royale. I ended up getting this yesterday at 4 a.m. in the morning, believe it or not, the peak time for tryhards, because no one stays up that late to play, unless it's for tryhard reasons. Nobody plays that late for casual. But I was ending up playing till like 4 a.m. in the morning just because I just couldn't sleep, I was bored, and I really wanted to end up winning. And I decided to end up playing, and I was just like, you know what, this is going to be my last game. Not going to really record or anything. I'm just going to do this for fun, just do this for me. And luckily, I as soon as I said this is going to be the last game and stuff like that, I ended up winning, which I'm really glad. I'm kind of a little bit upset that I couldn't live commentate over it, but at the same time, not necessarily, because if I would have live commentated over it, who knows, I may have potentially not have won, and I may have just gotten close. Because I do a lot better when I'm concentrating, and that's usually when I'm not talking. Some games it's better to talk for me, and I can actually focus better because I'm not worried too much. But I decided to end up starting off the game by going over to Tilted Towers, one of the brand new areas of the map. Just because this area has so much loot. I wanted to go originally to that tall building, the tallest one, but I was just like, okay, I'm not going to do it if there's a guy right there. He'll grab a gun and end up killing me, so I ended up running into this building. And then this guy ended up showing up, and I was just like, okay, hurry up, open this chest, I gotta go, 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 go. Because this place is absolute chaos. When you're at Tilted Towers, you gotta expect to have, 3 or 4 other whole teams just coming to swarm the area with you. It's ridiculous, but I ended up luckily getting that AR. I killed this one guy who only had a pistol, which was good, and I drank the slurp juice so I could get my health and armor back. But I was placing a trap there just in case, because I was like, I'm not screwing around. This is my time to shine. I'm gonna be taking over Tilted Towers. Let's do this. And so I ended up swapping, all my stuff that I ended up having, trying to scavenge as much loot as I could. I ended up finding a pump shotgun at one point. I ended up finding those grenades and that pistol, but for the most part, I really didn't have much good, loot, surprisingly, for this Battle Royale. The thing that actually ended up allowing me to win was actually this drop right over here that I got on this chest, and I got the bush. Now, I know that a lot of you guys, are probably going to say, oh, well, you just ended up camping with the bush. Well, you're right, I did end up camping with the bush, but the way that I ended up using the bush, in my opinion, is a very rare occurrence. Sure, I ended up camping probably with the bush a lot longer than would be considered the okay amount, because if you camp with the bush, for the most part, you're either, number one, trying to troll, or number two, you're just using it to be cheap. And I will admit I was being cheap with the bush heavily, but I have 2 reasons to kind of justify it. And I'm not saying that's 100% justified, I'm just saying that, in my opinion, this is the rare exception, where I was, being kind of a little bit scummy. But the one reason why I ended up using the bush is because the materials that I had, in terms of, weapons and armor and health and supplies, I had very little supplies to actually keep myself alive. Most people probably have a scar, or a bolt action, or tons of health, and I was just like, nah, there's no way I'm going to be able to do this. So I decided to just run to the middle of the map, where I thought that the storm was going to somewhat end, and I was just like, you know what, I'm actually going to be playing as a bush Wookiee. I normally don't do it, and I just thought, you know what, why not actually do it for once, because I very rarely try to play a, scumbaggy player in games. Sometimes I will, sometimes I don't. It depends on whether or not I feel like that's justified, because sometimes I play as a scumbag to kind of get back at people that were doing it first, or sometimes I'll do it just because I haven't done it in a while, but I was just like, you know what, I'm going to be sitting as a bush, I'm just going to be sitting here, and I'm going to be waiting patiently in my nice little house. So I ended up actually running into this guy at some point, which is kind of funny. He had no idea that I was in the bush, but I swear to God, I had a big panic attack when he did that, because the way he ended up moving, he jumped above me, and if he would have landed right on top of me, he would have actually been able to notice that I wasn't a bush, and he would actually just shot me clean there, because you can't go through people in this game, so I would have ended up dying if he moved just slightly on top of me. But then it started to end up getting really more intense. Then this is where it started to get to just under top 10. I was still sitting here. Yes, I know I have no life. But once again, this is the rare exception. But basically, the storm was really, really close to me, in the way of that the storm was just a little bit right near where I was, and then where the circle was. So I was really close to the next circle, but I was just outside of it. So the storm was actually going to hit me. I didn't know if it was actually going to hit me at first, because when the storm started moving in, Based off the mini-map, I thought I was just barely inside the circle and that the storm would just be on the very outside, and I would be like very close to it. But it was actually just slightly the other way around. I was just barely in the storm and close to the circle, so I had to slightly move. You'll see me move here in a second, realizing as the storm gets closer, that's not going to stop. So I was just like, okay, this isn't going to work out. I got to move. Yeah, the storm started coming really quick at this point. I was just like, yeah, I'm going to back up just a little bit because there was no way that thing was going to stop. And I was just like thinking in my head, is the storm going to knock my bush off? Because I know if you take damage, you lose the bush. And I didn't know if the storm could do that. But then we ended up getting the top 3 here. And I was trying to sneak up on people, try to get the advantage, maybe take out the last 2 guys, maybe build my own fort. And I noticed that I was the last guy left because the dude that was in the fort took out the dude at the bottom. So I was just like, okay, now it's the final 2. I have a very good chance at this. My heart was racing. Dude, my heart was literally about to explode at this point because it was like, there's no way in the possible world that I could lose this as long as I played my cards right. I was trying to actually climb up on top of the log cabin, but the roof was in the way. Now I was just like, actually, no, I don't want to do that being on top of the log cabin when he has that giant fortress out of metal. So my plan was to get the material that I had left and climb his tower on the outskirts because he doesn't know I'm here even because I've been in the bush the whole time. But I was going to climb and I was going to pump shotgun him. And so I jump up here and I'm like, okay, I'm going to kill this guy. And then wait a second, he's not there in the tower. So he's got to be underneath the tower. And the storm's starting to shrink and I'm just like, oh crap, where is this guy? I'm starting to get worried. And then luckily for me, he happened to actually just ditch his whole entire fort looking for me. And he actually ended up jumping out and started to run towards the original area where I left. You can see he's running to the log cabin. I don't know if he thought I was in there or whatever, but I jumped down, jumped on the roof, pulled the pump shotgun, started to pump, you know, some shots into him. And I got a lucky headshot, and then I won the game. And I got so happy when this happened because this is my very first solo victory royale, which is just very awesome for me. So now I have one in squads and solo. Maybe next I'll have one in duo. Who knows? But anyways, guys, I hope you guys did enjoy seeing my first Fortnite Battle Royale solo victory. If you guys want to see more Fortnite in the future and you like today's video, please leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you guys are new around here because that's really appreciated. And it will let you guys know when I am uploading another video. But anyways, guys, I will see you all in my next video. Peace out.